Hey, hey, hey. It is 5:52 and I'm at 55% on my phone. And if you know anything about me and my favorite numbers, that is really cool. I'm Skye and I have a quick message here for you from the Eye of Skye. I'm by the creek right now. You want to see it? It's right in front of me. Hi, Haley. So today we're going to talk about the energy of words, the words that we use toward ourselves and the words that we use toward other people. And this is really important to me. It has been my whole life. And it's something that I still continue to work on myself. But I think it's important that we talk about. And those of you who've been following me for a long time, this is something that I've been talking about for over a decade. I had a tribe of teenagers about 10 years ago where we went on this movement called the What's Good movement. And basically what that was just taking a look around and choosing our perspective consciously, choosing to look for what's good. Not only in life circumstances and things that happen, and recognizing, what's good out of this instead of just getting depressed and going into a downward spiral of the end of the world. We looked around for what is good. And so that's something we can do in our speech too when we're talking to someone. Have you ever had a boss? I know I had principals like this when I was a school teacher who says if you don't hear from me, it's a good thing. And it's because they only talk to you if something's wrong. I had parents like that. And it's not to say that, my parents were completely 100% awful. Nobody is 100% awful. Well, just like no one is 100% awesome. We're all on this earth to learn. And so I'm just saying I experienced a lot of it. I remember I was telling someone a story earlier today to help them understand this. And it was about I could clean the whole kitchen and all the grout and everything, but if I didn't load the dishwasher perfectly, that's what was brought up to me. And so the example that I gave was, gosh, could you imagine if the first thing out of my stepdad's mouth was, wow, this kitchen looks amazing. I can't imagine how long it took you to clean the grout of this old tile. And hey, next time you load the dishwasher, if you consider doing it this way, you might fit more stuff, or whatever his qualm was. Then it probably would have impacted me in a much more positive way, and I wouldn't have felt like everything was squashed. Probably the same for you. Have you ever had somebody say I love you, but I really wish that whatever, you do your hair more or something like that. It kind of erases it. When I was a kid and I was going through therapy, these things were called zingers. It's I love you, but I'm going to take it away now. Or hey, that was really cool, but it's supposed to be this way though. And those things take it away. Can you think of any examples in your life where somebody has said something like this to you and you're like, wow, they think they said something nice, but it hit me really hard and it makes me feel pretty bad about what I did, especially if you spent hours doing it or you spent a lot of energy making something beautiful. Maybe you had a performance and you worked so hard. As a band teacher, I recognize this in my students all the time. There's bugs everywhere. Actually, I'm lying. There was one bug. Anyway, as a band teacher, I recognize in my students all the time where it's they might go up and play this song and there were some things that they could have done better. And I had to be very conscious about telling them all the things that they did well and right first, and then tell them what we can work on next time. And in our culture, in our society, we are so conditioned to focus on what's bad or what's wrong and fix it, like something must be broken, we must fix now, that my students, oftentimes I'd say, we'd be in a rehearsal. We would play 8 bars, or we'd play a whole piece, or we'd play something, and then afterwards I would ask them what they thought. And the kids always thought that they were supposed to say something negative. Well, we sucked at this. We should have done this better. We should have done that better. And what's so funny is they would always be shocked. The first question out of my mouth, after a while, I learned that I had to directly ask it. I couldn't just say, what do you think? It couldn't be open-ended that way. I had to specifically ask, what did you do well? And they were always shocked. And it took months of reprogramming their minds to be able to look for what was good, because so often they just didn't even compute that. And then it started to get to this thing where they would just end. I wouldn't have to ask the question anymore, and they would just immediately say man, you guys, that cutoff was awesome. And what the hell happened to our dynamics? They would do that themselves. And so it's this idea of programming our minds to be really conscious about the words that we're telling ourselves. Maybe we made dinner, and one time I made eggplant French fries. Complete disaster. But what I could tell myself was, wow, Skye, you followed that recipe to a T. And these really suck. These taste so nasty. We need to go out for dinner. So it's like you could tell yourself what's good first, maybe I don't, by the way, recommend anybody ever try making eggplant French fries. So maybe it's like you fell, something simple like that. And instead of, gosh, what a klutz I am, blah, 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 it could be like, wow, like I totally just saved my life right now and I only have one scratch. Or, oh my gosh, like I wish I got that on video because I could have won $10,000 at Funniest Home Videos or something like that. Then say like, man, what do I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen next time? Do I need to put tape down on that stair? Something like that. Like, think about how we talk to ourselves and let's be really conscious about it. And then when we talk to other people, especially kids, because they're developing, they're learning who they are, they're learning their identity, and we're helping give it to them. So when we're talking to other people, let's think about what's good first. And I need to work on this myself. I mean, that's what we're all here for, is to learn. So, okay, let's think of an example. You're talking to somebody comes to tell you that they have a problem. Maybe the first thing is like, wow, you really articulated that well. Thank you so much for helping me understand, where you are. Let's look at this, or, my perspective is different. I don't really see this as being an issue, but I recognize that you do. Or let's say a kid draws you a picture and that picture was drawn on the walls. You could get mad. What are you doing? I see parents do this all the time in public. It's really difficult for me to watch. What are you doing? You're doing this wrong. Blah, 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 all these things. I'm like, of course, that's a parent's gut reaction, It's like, holy crap, I'm going to have to paint over this wall, or I'm renting, that's going to come out of my deposit, or something like that. But if we can take a second to take one deep breath before we react, and we say, wow, that is an amazing drawing. I feel so special that you drew that for me. Next time, can we draw on this paper? Or maybe we'll get you a big roll of butcher paper and we'll cover the wall with it. Or we'll put up a chalkboard on the wall, or we'll put up a whiteboard on the wall for you to draw next time. Because did you know if you draw on this wall, watch, we can't really get it off. And when we move, which actually you might not even want to say because it might scare a child to think of moving, but when we want this wall to be clean, now we can't clean it. So we want to be able to save this forever. Let's put it on paper. Something like that is a lot more beneficial to a child's development and really to any human out there, because the truth is most of us probably didn't grow up with those perfect parents who reacted that way when we drew on the wall, right? And so we're still like getting over those traumas as adults. So maybe we should just talk to everybody that way. Let's think about what's good first. Share what's good first. Pause. Think. What's good? Pause again. Now talk about what needs to be fixed. And as teachers, we learned this thing about the sandwich technique. What was good? What can be better? And then something that was good again. I really love the way that you just told me that you need to go to the bathroom, Johnny. And right now, we're actually in the middle of rehearsal. So is it possible for you to wait 5 minutes? Oh, thank you so much. And you know what, by the way, I really appreciate the way that you rose your hand too. That was great. Thank you. Now we continue with rehearsal. Okay? Something little like that. It's conscious thought. We consciously think about how our energy is affecting other people instead of reacting by default. And I'm not saying this is you. This is you and it's me. It's everybody. We're all learning this. So that's my food for thoughts for today. That's been going on in the eye of Skye for a couple hours now. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for this time, and I want to show you the creek one more time because you deserve a little bit of Mother Nature today. This is called Rattlesnake Creek, and I'm really digging it. There's some smog up in these parts today. I'm not really digging that. Smog in the mountains, you got problems then. But I'm really loving this. And when I think about these rocks, I love being surrounded by them because they used to be a part of a mountain. And they fell, and I don't know how many thousands of years it took for that whole metamorphic process to go, to happen, for them to be their individual, unique selves. But somehow they ended up down this mountain. And then all these little grains of sand are like the little broken rocks from every single fall that they had, and they're still standing. It's really cool. So there's your geeky thought for today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. Think about what's good first to yourself and to other people, and then talk about what can be better next time. I will talk to you soon. Bye.